Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to ChannelBK. My name is Brian. Welcome to another review. It's a little late, but it is finally here, and this one is for the new Czarface album, Every Hero Needs a Villain. Czarface is the collaborative duo of, or I guess trio of production and rap duo. There's a lot of duos and trios, I'm confusing myself, of 7L and Esoteric, and also it's spearheaded by Inspect the Deck. I guess he's part of this thing called the Wu-Tang Clan, and they ain't nothing to fuck with. Wow, I'm already going there, Brian. Great. But no, I was really excited to hear this album. This is the second project under the Czarface collaborative idea, and I haven't listened to the first one, not because I'm just turned off by it, but I've been hearing great things about this album, and mainly because from what I've been hearing in terms of Wu-Tang Clan, Inspect the Deck is sort of the only other member, at least next to someone like Ghostface, who is really doing some very unique stuff in the past couple years in terms of who he's getting to give him production or to give him ideas for concepts of an album. And I was looking forward to this album mainly because of the title, mainly because of the titles of some of the tracks, and mainly because of the cover, and I was interested in hearing what this album was gonna be. There's like comic book references, and there's a Star Wars reference at one point, and there's wrestling references. So I was like, I should really enjoy this album. And ironically, when I was putting this together, at first I'm like, I actually thought it was a good album. But then when I realized like how many tracks I liked and how much I thought in terms of a whole package, I ended up feeling like I grew on this album a lot more, and I kind of loved it. I think as a full project, in terms of the transition from song to song, it just did not stop. You know, a good amount of the tracks kind of stayed in that boom bap lane. For example, like the first couple tracks sort of just hit you on the head, but then you get some different tracks in terms of style change of something like Kabang or Red Alert. So there's always a different type of change. And like I was saying, sort of the skits at the end of tracks or stuff that leads into other tracks, man, some of these were either just funny, they were awesome, or it just was freaking out in terms of like references from other stuff. And I thought that that was really cool to sort of add on to the album, and it made it, in a weird way, a cohesive story, but it also just kind of added some interesting character to the album as well. And like I said about the whole boom bap thing, with sort of the first couple tracks being that, again, from Don the Armor, it sets the tone, and then we get a Czartacus, which is great. Has some nice guitars on it with some cool street percussion, and then we get the Lumberjack match, which kind of gets in that more upbeat production style, but it still kind of sounds heavily like Czartacus in terms of the elements like the guitars and all that, which I think was cool. Nightcrawler had a great sample on it, and again, it was very hard hitting. And this also kind of was the introduction of the features, which the features on here were ridiculous to other Wu-Tang members, to R.A. the Rugged Man, and to MF Doom, and I thought they all killed it, especially on this track. I thought Method Man was one of the shining, like very shining moments in terms of guest features on this album. I thought he was dope. And also World Premiere with Large Professor, I thought was another great track as well. But then for me, I think, not to say the rest of the tracks are bad, but I think for me when it came back to like, oh my god, this album is incredible, with Sergeant Slaughter. That's one of the more shorter tracks on this album. And it had like this very, and I know this is gonna sound ironic, but it has like this interesting raw feel to it. And what I mean by that is sort of the guitars. They're very warped, they're very rugged, and I thought that the inclusion of them on this track added for such kind of like a heightened dramatic element to this track. And I thought that that was really cool. When Gods Go Mad with Jizza, again, he has a great verse. There's some interesting horn samples, I believe, sort of in the second half, and the drums in the second half, I thought were absolutely ridiculous. They were so great. And then, like I said, something like Kabang with MF Doom. Oh, first off, MF Doom just is crazy on this. But this sort of changes up from the boom bap feel. It's very minimal, kind of has just a driving bass line. The 808 beat on it kind of changes up every so often, but it's sort of the first time where, when I first listened to it, I didn't really know how much I was gonna like this track, because at first I was like, not turned off, but I was like, I don't know. But when I really got to listen to it more, I liked that track in terms of the difference in terms of tone and all that from the other tracks. Escape from Czarkham Asylum was absolutely nuts. All the beat changes. My favorite is the second one with sort of like the sax and the horns, like building up each time. I thought that was great. And then obviously Good Villains Go Last is probably my final favorite track on here with R.A. R.A. does a great job. But overall, I was really surprised that kind of as I realized how many of the tracks I liked and a lot of the other elements, I just really enjoyed this album. Again, there's a lot of differences in terms of boom bap and then a lot of either just kind of minimalist stuff or interesting experimentation. It has a lot of character. I thought the verses were great. I thought the guests were great. But overall, again, I was surprised that after coming out of this listen, I'm like, you know what? I think I really love this album. So what you guys think? I know it's late. I'm sorry about that. But did you like it as much as me? Didn't like it as much as me? Leave all those in the comments below. If you liked, please like and please subscribe if you want more music reviews, as well as some movie and television reviews, original stuff hopefully coming soon, raw discussions every now and again. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in to ChannelBK. Peace out, guys.